M0FXB Radtel RT900 has new firmware version 1.20. It says it adds 999 channels. Okay, and up here you've got new CPS, so we're going to click both and they've both gone to our downloads folder. Now let's take a look at the change log, which is here. Move that way you can see it. It says, and if you scroll down to 120, fix the issue where channel numbers above 600 cannot be entered. Remove audio response settings from the previous version. Added single display mode. Okay, menu 51, which is only valid for when TDR menu or dual receive is turned off. Optimize the interface display of single display. That'll be interesting to see. So, okay, we'll download it. Let's load it. First thing I'll do is I'll run the CPS because I want to make sure it's reading and writing the radio. So we're just going to quickly run it, read the radio. Hopefully it will let me read it, even though it's a newer CPS. Okay, the cable's connected, just a Bofun cable, twin pin, device manager. And we want port number 89. That's high. We'll go to settings, 0 port, 89. Click OK and then read. Cool. Looks like it's reading fine. Quite important. There it goes. So we know it's reading and writing, although it's, they are a bit of a delay. Oh, no names. I haven't got much in here, have I? Let's add one. 145.600. And we just want transmit CTCSS. Leave it high for now. Give it a name. This one will be GB3WR. That's GB3 Bravo Charlie. And that would be 94.8. This would be actually 94.8. Yeah, it's all running smoothly. That's my node, HubNet, HUBNET. And I don't know what that one is. Let's go 430.925. That's GB3FI. 438.525. Notice there's no minus and plus shift in this method of adding memory channels. GB3FI. All right. Yes. Let me think now. If I do that to 145.500, I'm pretty sure that's S20. No tone on that one. And then we'll call it S20. Of course, it's going to be a lot quicker to bring batches of channels in using Chuck. But anyway, I'm just going to save that. Downloads, give it a name. 900B. Save. I'll quickly write that to the radio and then we'll do the firmware. Click OK. And yeah, that'll be there. If you look, you've got GB3FI straight away. S20. So look, it actually looks lovely. Lovely, and it's got a lovely scope on this radio. So okay, now we'll open the firmware file. Just here. See the Radtel ANC bootloader? That's the actual, I just double clicked it. Click more and then run. And then instantly it appears. This is the bootloader. The file we want, the actual bin file, this top one here. So what I do is I make a space and then I click it and I just drag it into a space on my desktop and I just remember the name, which is HA1, isn't it? H1, is it? BT. So there's my little bin file there waiting for me. And if you read instructions, it says press and hold the 2 buttons under the PTT and power on to get you into firmware mode. And that's where you select here with the 3 dots, the COM as well, which is 89, and then update. So let's just do that. I'm going to turn it off. Cable's in the PC. Press these two, orange and the black one underneath, and turn on. Quite fiddly, sorry if you can't see, but it's the two. Turn on, and it actually says update. It's quite satisfying to see that. You know you've pressed it right. Then here, select the file, 3 dots. Do you see that? I'll just show you again. Here, 3 dots. And then I put it on my desktop. And then it's always at the bottom if you just put it. And look, BT here. So it's put the firmware here. Then select the port, which is 89. The baud rate, I'll just double check that is still 1.15200. So right click, device manager. You get the port, well, you get everything, the device manager window, but you go to the ports selection and look, 89, right click, properties, go across to port settings and just make sure that's the same. Okay, and now if we click update, it should do it. Now, remember, sometimes you got to fiddle a bit and try again. If you look here now, it's saying the board's okay, update, and then it's 0. So it is going in, but it's quite slow. I've seen this before. So we'll have the latest firmware. Now I had a question about it on menu 33 saying where it says scan, add or delete, on or off. So you would think, well, that's fine. You go into scanning and you look, there'll be a setting that says scan memories, add or delete. I can't see that in there, although 33 is showing a menu. So if someone knows that answer, let me know. Okay, that's gone in. Yeah. Menu, let's do the thing. Menu 51, it says single mode. So let's do it. Remember, we've got to turn TDR off, but let's see, hopefully it's off already. Click OK. Then go, it hasn't done it yet, but go menu, look for TDR now, which is basically dual receive. There it is. Turning it off. Ooh, very nice. M0FXB test. Yeah, I like it. I think it looks nice. Better in real life than what you're seeing there. Now, the question I had the other day, menu 33, add or delete, scan add. So if I click add, okay, but then what? We can, I've left it as add. There's a scan button here. It's scanning memories. Looks nice. But just press it, no, press the PTT to stop. So I'm not really sure what that menu 33 is. If anyone knows, please tell me and how to actually use it. And then menu, we're just going to quickly go through the menus. Auto lock, DTMF, S code, power on message, logo. Be nice to get a power on boot screen, wouldn't it? We'll have a look. Plus and minus shift when you're using the actual radio. For repeaters, TX power, buttons, you know, programming the buttons. Radio works really good on these. I'll show you in a sec. It's PF2. Language, and it looks like it's got Russian on there. Roger B, channel name. You press select, you can do the channel name. CTCSS, memory channels. Doesn't say anything like scan add. You can add and delete. Timeout for how long you can talk. There's a dual receive that you can of course turn back on. ABR is light on, backlight on permanently. TX pound step. Single mode. See, there's the firmware 1.20. We have the latest reset, Bluetooth on or off, and yes, you can program with an app. And the app, if you want to find the app, it's in the Radtel downloads section. There's a QR code. I'll put the link in for that. I think that's about it. Yeah, and I can't remember how to turn on the spectrum. I think let's do there's the radio, which is very good. And then in the menu, if we can set one of the buttons for spectrum, because they've improved that, haven't they? So let's go menu. Look for PF. Let's just change the radio one for now. So you've got TX power, but then you've got scan, search. That's weather channels, SOS, switch to AM, FM. Okay, it's interesting. Bluetooth. Where's the spectrum on this thing? It's definitely got a really nice spectrum. It's going to be hold down a certain button. Yeah, I have made a video on it as well. That's my video you're seeing in the background. But basically you hold down the VM and it comes on, look. Yeah. That one there. And you can move the squelch down. See the green line? Then you're going to hear more. You can type in the frequency. Like so. And it scans AM, FM there. And then how wide you're scanning is here, look. Pressing the hash. Really smart. I just think it looks so much better when you see the actual real radio. And, you know, the people that moan about these Chinese radios, what is wrong with them? We are getting so much for our money. We spend more money on toilet paper. And these radios last forever. Toilet paper gets flushed. Stop moaning. Learn how to use the radio before you go click, 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 sending everything back that costs. Like some radios, they're like £15. They're really good radios. I've got a couple here. And they send them back because there's a couple of bugs. I'll never get it. But anyway, that's working great. Back to the software settings. Just set the COM again. Click OK. Read. Start. Reading fine with the latest CPS. A lot of people ask about zones, don't they? I'm going to have a quick look. I don't see zones. But, you know, for me, there's a new generation of hams now. Hams, when radios cost a lot more, would buy the radios they need. They'd have a few extra ones. Of course they would. Some people would have loads of extra. But generally, we bought what we needed. But with this thing where you can buy these radios at such low prices, and these radios are amazing. Just grabbing one here, like the 950. Okay, let's get the 950 up. This thing here, triple receive, full HF receiver. I got a little Superman logo on it. Fantastic radio. Then you got a budget one, like these are only £45 now, I think. DMR and airband that works amazing. I got Superman on here as well. There's Superman, and I've made a video installing that. Actually, we're gonna have a quick look at if we can get a boot picture on this one before we end the video. DMR airband, the best airband I've ever heard on that thing. DMR. Remember, whenever you buy DMR, it's complicated to learn. You're not going to learn how to program it, because a lot of people say to me, "Oh, if that radio, like this one here, for example, had DMR, I'd buy it straight away." But then, do they realise that DMR is really complicated to program? Many don't, and don't. That's not disrespectful. Because I am no cleverer than every ham that's ever messaged me. The only thing that's different about me is I put the work in to learn. So I'm willing to work hard to learn how to use my radio, even if it takes me days and weeks, and I get really frustrated because I want the result, which is using these radios. One of these radios, you get the Radtel 880 or the 950. You don't need any other radio. If if you're on a budget, you don't need any other radio. Yeah, they do that much. But anyway, let's see if we can find quickly show settings. Where is it? So serial port, program, edit, optional features. Okay. So this is like your settings one here, and everything that's in the menu really. Programmable buttons here, FM radio, BCL. What is there's the TDR we turned off because we wanted single screen, which I actually really like. Noise reduction switch, cool. Channel A and B display if you want to show the name or the frequency, it's up to you. And work mode, same goes for work mode. A and B is just when you just turn the radio on, you're in VFO mode, I think. They work great on DTMF. Definitely get yourself an all-star node. The prices are coming down on these now. This is an all-star node. It effectively connects your radio to the internet. It's still radio here to radio, but then this connects to the internet, and you're on the all-star system chatting to all your friends around the world, including HubNet. And definitely check that one out, HubNet. With a handheld, with a cheap handheld, you are, and it's not that horrible digital sound. This is as good as the conversation that we're having right now. And so if you haven't got a HubNet node, get one, because you 100% need one. And if you've got any digital radios like DMR, D-Star Fusion, and you haven't got a hotspot, you are crazy. Yeah, you have to get a hotspot if you've got a digital radio. And yeah, the audio does sound a bit squashed and a bit digitally, but that's fine. That's another aspect of enjoying the hobby. Anyway, timeout. So yeah, not really much to show because everything's here. You can tell it, see, this is at the moment, it says A band frequency. You can tell it where you want it to boot when it turns on. So if I go 434.500, that's my node that I just showed you, 77 tone. And really the power on that will be low because it's in the room. And then on the B, I like GB3WR. And you can put a tone in to open it up. CTCSS tones open up repeaters if you're new. So you transmit, and along with your signal is a little tone that clicks on and turns on that repeater. And then when you transmit, it's actually on a slightly different frequency. So here you've got the 000 shift, okay, offset, and it's a minus shift because you can have plus, and you turn the shift on here minus. Okay, and that's the same as doing a memory channel, but it'll do it when you're in VFO mode. VFO means you can type the frequency. When you're in channel mode, you can just change channels, and of course you need to add channels, but you're not going to find them. So I'm not seeing anything obvious about zones here. I'm seeing channel, receive, power, bandwidth, lockout. The scan add is all on, yeah. So maybe that's all it is, the menu 33. That when you turn it off, you don't scan it. There's a way to check. So at the moment, scan is press and hold 1. It's scanning, okay. PTT to stop. Menu 33. Scan add. I'm going to go okay. Delete. Delete, okay. Press and hold scan. It still does it. So I do not understand that menu. Someone has to, and I have gone and looked in the manual. I've got the manual here. It's in the Radtel downloads. I can't see it, which is really weird. But anyway, let's see if we can add a boot pic. Import boot picture here. So to import a boot picture on your RT900, import, and it gives us the size. And we know we're on COM89. The radio is connected, as you know, via the USB cable to my PC. We're going to create an image 160 by 28. So I'll go to my Superman images, like so. I've always got Superman, R2D2, C3PO. And I keep them all here. where my videos are. And I have to keep deleting videos. So here's a Superman picture here. So I'm going to right click it. I'm going to go open with, and then I'm going to choose paint. Okay, do that again. Right click. I'm Christopher Reeve. He's the best. Anyway, with paint. So this paint window opens. Then I got to remember the size again now because I've already forgotten. So it's 160 by 128. So we go to File, Settings, Image Properties. And remember, paint is part of Windows. And then we just go. So I would say the height is higher. So higher. It looks. Actually, no. Actually, no. I would say it's not higher. But 160. Even if it doesn't work, it's still going to show you how to do it. Once 160 128. Click OK. Oh, it's only showing his head. That's a shame, isn't it? Can we move that? Anyway, let's just put it in there for now. Let's go M0 F X B. I know that's so bad, but then we'll go File, Save as Bitmap, and we'll save it where we can find it. So downloads for now. It's always easier to find it in downloads, but I ended up having to delete those. Superman, and I'm going to put in 900 so I know what it's called. Save. So we've created the image, open, and if it's the wrong image, it will tell us. Yeah, it's not really liking that. Look, please. Oh, now it's saying, please use 160 by 139. Okay, let's try it. Well, that's interesting. So that did actually go in. So let's go import. You can see the radio doing its thing. And so I'll put in the description 160 by 139 radio boots, and there he was. And we just done the firmware and the CPS, and there's Superman Christopher Reeve, the best Superman of all time. Thanks for watching my channel. Please hit the like, subscribe, stay positive. It's a great hobby, and if you want to join the channel, it's only $1 a month. You become one of our community, and if you really feel that I've helped you a lot and you want to say thank you, buy me and my wife coffee. Hit the PayPal button. 73, all the best.